Is Patrick
Just
here?
actually, I'm
yeah, it's Craig here. Cool.
Yeah, so Patrick is gonna be live in 2 minutes.
Right, okay. So our guest is here, I can see. So yeah, whenever, 3 minutes to go, and then from there we can get started.
normally the chat should be unmuted as well. So if there's like any guys who want to ask questions and stuff, then it's going to be okay for them to type.
All right, so
someone's not muting the mic afterwards. Let's hear some echoes.
Down. Mine is down. Mine was down. Yeah. Yeah, we all need to mute ourselves when we stop talking, because otherwise we're just gonna hearing the echo.
okay, so we're gonna start.
Yeah, it's going to be a couple seconds. I'm going to start recording and then we'll go. Right, so do we have any volunteers for today's introduction? Or do you want me to go ahead and give one?
Yeah, I can go ahead. I can go ahead and introduce myself, introduce my channel, and we can take it from there.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so I'm Cousin from Crypto Channel 329. So I've been involved in the crypto space since 2020, like mid 2020. And ever since I started my crypto journey, I decided to record videos because I felt like most of the videos that I was recording, or most of the stuff that I was doing, could be a good tool of information for other viewers. So I decided to start my crypto journey, also at the same time recording my videos. And my channel is based on DeFi projects, ROI dApps, ROI miners. Lately, I've been messing with trading bots. I do also educational videos. So in my channel, you'll find all sorts of crypto information, from tokens, coins, educational videos, ROI miners, ROI dApps, farms, Tom Forks, and all sorts. So yeah, basically that's just me.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. I'm Jay. I'm behind the channel DJ and Chad. So basically, I created my channel because I was seeing way too often most of the YouTube channels in crypto. They were mostly promoting, tokens and projects that I'd already done, like crazy amount of X's, like 10x, 50x, 100x. So basically, I created the channel to want to find opportunities for people to get into projects early, whether that be during maybe a seed, private, pre-sale, whatever it is, or quite early on in the project. So my channel, was mainly focusing on that, but also it just follows any sort of trend in crypto. Whatever is the hype at the time. Obviously, it's a place to make the most money, so I usually make content around whatever the trend is. I also cover a lot of airdrop stuff as well. So any opportunities I see to get any potential airdrops, and yes, that's my channel.
All right, so I'm CT. I have my small YouTube channel on which I cover all the DGen projects in what I like to throw money and hope for the best. And that's it, simple.
Yeah, I don't know what happened then.
Yeah. Anyone next? Patrick?
That was interesting.
Hey guys, sorry, I thought I was the only one out of the AMA, so okay, so my name is actually Patrick. Most of you know me by Zamba Cash Flow. So I created my YouTube channel as well to actually help people and educate people, bring them into this DeFi plays and all that. So I don't want to take much of the time because we already lost some minutes already. Yeah, I'll make it simple like City did. So yeah, let's go to the next one.
Who we got left now is just Nana, right? Yo, Nana, you there?
Rice and chicken.
Looks like she's away from keyboard, so it doesn't matter. She can introduce herself later on. So today, now we've actually got a special guest on. We've got Craig from Fortune Hunters, and today we're going to be talking about one of their new products, Farm of Fortune. So why don't you go ahead, Craig, and give an introduction to the project?
Hi, yeah. So my name's Crypto Craig. I am originally a YouTuber. Still am a YouTuber. I started about a year ago, and then about 8 months ago, all the rugs started happening, and it got pretty scary promoting any project, because as any influencer knows, if anything goes down, everybody comes to you because you've basically done a video on it. So I ended up making plans and started thinking about, is there another way of making a project different, make it more sustainable, bring in an outsource of income to make platforms sustainable, and make it so that you can not just make your ROI or be the last person in that loses. We want it to be the last person wins as well. So I went to George, who's George Stampaudits, and said, look, I want to see what happens with this. Is there any way you can build one? He goes, no, go away, research it and build one yourself. I'll help you if you need to, but build one yourself. You've got good plans, so let's see if we can put the plans to work. And that's when I brought out Cake of Fortune, which was 7.5 months ago now. And it's still going to this day, and it started pumping again at this moment because everyone's realized just how much of a reduced Ponzonomics of the miner is. So we built that, and we started using syrup pools and ways and means of earning a extra income from the dev fees. So no dev got paid, none of the team got paid. All the fees went into these syrup pools. So basically, we were working for nothing. I was putting extra income myself, building platform with the back end and the front end, and as we all know, with marketing and stuff. So we ended up building that, and then a month later, we built the Elk of Fortune, and that's still going as well. That's 6.5 months old, and that one's because we built that with better tokenomics and better fees, dev fees, which go into the syrup pools. We are basically at a 0% Ponzi on there as from this weekend coming. So whatever's coming out now is automatically come back in with the that's earned from the interest from the syrup pools. So we have on average about 900 to 1,000 elk coming out, and we are injecting over 1,200 elk each week now. So we basically made that into a 0% Ponzi. Yeah, if we got new investors, it would put it back out of the 0% Ponzi, but we work back up with the interest each and every week anyway to get it back to the 0%. So then after that, there was the crop shield farm, and nobody could understand how it went down so fast with good tokenomics and everything else. So I says, look, I goes, George, I goes, I'm not being funny, but can I fork your project? I want to make some changes to it and see if we can make that, because I've done the miners and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to try and see if there were farms, because everyone knows farms. You go to the lowest days because it's never going to last any more than the lowest days. And he says, look, jot it all down to me and see where we go. So I did all my figures and facts and everything, and I went back to him. I says, George, I think I know where the problem is with farms, and it goes with any farm, don't matter which one it is. It's the compound feature. Anytime a farm has a compound feature, it's the whales that win. And I want to build something that's going to benefit the smaller investors, not just the whales. So I says, well, would it work by removing the compound and doing it so that if they want to earn extra, they've got to reinvest, and do it so that the contract, instead of only having like 8% dev fees, do 50%. So we can basically give the full 400% ROI on the plan one. And he says, hey, get it all down, let's simulate it. For 5 months, we're simulating, we were whale testing, we were self-refer testing, and then we brought it out. And it is doing absolutely amazing. We are, at the current state, we are 197 BNB over everybody's ROI at the moment. And it's continuously keep growing each and every single day.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you for.
Go on, City.
All right. So thank you for the introduction of the project. I think everybody will have some questions, if it's okay with you, Craig.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
All right. So because on this video, we're going to try also to talk about security, because, you know, like all of us, security, it's one of the most important thing in crypto. You know, we don't want to lose our money overnight because we just click on something. What is the security behind the project?
Yeah, so I realized just how big this was getting and realized that I had to up my security game. So everything's done on Ledger to start off with. Any trading, anything like that with the syrup pools, everything is on a Ledger. So it's got to be with the password, as we all know what ledgers are like. I've had to get the anti-biasing mechanism in the hosting, web host. I've had to go for the top of the range, so dipped into my own personal funds a lot more. I don't open any DMs. That's the one thing I don't do. Many people have like come in chat and said, look, you've just got me Telegram jailed. Well, I know when Zamba got hacked, it was down to a PDF through a white paper. And when I checked and I went through his computer and asked him to send me a load of screenshots, and I went through all his back end of his computer, we found out that there was a link to like a team viewer through this white paper, which had automatically downloaded to his computer and basically drained all of his wallet. So that's why I don't accept any DMs, only from people I know. And if anyone's wanting to DM me, they have to tag me in a group first, so that I know it's them, because if not, they're getting blocked and possibly put into Telegram jail. So yeah, the main thing is the security. So that's why I'm normally the most active in the chat, and because of everything what I have to do behind the scenes, I can't be that active in chat no more. So like all the team take over that, and the admins we've got in chat. But yeah, the main priority is security during everything, especially with the amount of money that's actually in the wallets that I hold.
Okay, so we are on the amount of the money. I have another question. I'm just thinking, if I'm going to start now to compound for the next 3 months, how much is going to affect the project in the future?
If you compound for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I thought that we couldn't compound.
Yeah, you can withdraw
No,
and
it's reinvest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to withdraw and then reinvest, which gives the platform an extra 50% to go into the syrup pools, which helps sustain the platform and helps build interest each and every single day. So the way things are going, the lower the TVL would be a longer time to incur interest and compound each and every single day. With the current state at the moment, it's compounding faster, and I'm able to do it 2 or 3 times a day. So it's beating the inflation of the impermanent losses and everything else, just in case BNB drops or anything. So what we have simulated is that because it's a mutable contract, is until people get bored of depositing or redepositing through compounding, the contract won't end. So we could be going on for years and years and years at 2% a day. That's if you're wanting to go into the plan 1, or there's 1%, 1.5% on plan 2 or 3. So it's forever as long as you're wanting. It doesn't make a difference. The more we can get into the TVL, the faster we can get up to that 400% payback for every single one. And then whatever BNB is left in the contract is locked. We can't touch, nobody can touch apart from new investors.
Okay. But if somebody, let's say, every time when he's going to get his 5 days, he's going to just redraw.
That's still okay. At the moment, we are at over 67% of the community are reinvesting into the platform. We are at the contract balance alone is 257 BNB, and the total amount invested is 963 BNB. So for 10 days, so for 2 lots of withdrawals, if every single person withdrawn, we won't still need to put anything back into the contract. We can still compound during them days. And at that time, if it needs be, we can pull out of any pool because there's no time lock, there's no nothing. It can all go straight back into the contract at any point.
All right. So this was my question. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just want to touch a little bit more on going into a little bit more detail about what you said. So obviously the whole concept around this project is zero Ponzi, right? So the project doesn't rely on any new investors coming in order to support itself, right? Can you go over a little bit more detail into then how the revenue is generated from the interest and how that is possible to cover everybody's 2% or 1.5%, you know, or whichever farm you decided to enter?
Yeah, so like I say, at the moment we are over 190 BNB over every, so like we have a total, let me just get it all. So our total at the moment in all the pools and the contract, not in the total amount invested. So the 256 included is 1,157 BNB. So everyone is covered for the ROI at the moment for 2% a day, plus any new investors that are joining in. And that's just incurred through using syrup pools and being a madman, compounding as fast as I can, as much as I can.
Okay. And would there be any kind of weaknesses to the protocol in the same? So I'll just give an example. Stable Fund, right, was generating the 1.5% for everybody through trading bots, but they found a weakness in that when there was too many people that were pulling their funds out at the same time, it caused problems with the trading bots and the positions that they were holding on the exchanges. Is there anything similar that could happen with the project if, say, for example, everybody wanted to withdraw funds at the same time, or I don't know, because of some exploit or something like that?
Not really, no, because basically the majority of the contract is in the wallets in the syrup pool. So if any exploit ever did happen, even though we've tested it for like 5 months, if it ever did happen or everyone started to withdraw, we could simply either put the money back in the contract, or if there's an exploit, we could directly pay every single person back. We, on average, do 2 to 3 AMAs each and every week. We do daily graph showing to everyone in the group to show exactly how much BNB is incurred that day of interest and how many pools we're actually in. So at the moment, we are in 5 different pools. One alone pool has $111,000 in it, and another pool has just over $60,000 in it. And Pancake Pop alone, because that's the lowest APR at the moment, that has just got over $16,000. So, and there's a few other pools as well, yeah. So yeah, the only way that anything could ever happen is if there was an exploit. The only thing they could take is the 256, which if we carry on with the interest, can still pay back everyone with the 964 BNB that's totally invested.
Okay, nice. So if there are some people maybe who are watching this podcast on one of our YouTube channels and maybe they are interested in your project, they are interested in the Farm of Fortune, you guys offer 3 different farms, right? Can you explain to the listeners what those farms offer and how long it would take to ROI?
Yeah, so we've got 3 different pools. Plan 1 basically is 2% a day for 200 days, and you can earn 400% ROI. But there is a withdrawable sustainability tax which stays in the contract of 3%. So overall, you will get 388% ROI from your investment. The initial time for ROI is 55 days. So that's with the 5-day withdrawals. So on plan 2 and plan 3, both of them alone will be 62 days to ROI, which will be basically 55 days using the 5-day withdrawal, and you have a maximum day of 7 days to withdraw. So we give it people an extra 2 days just in case people are on holiday. So we thought, well, there's no point just locking it at the 5th day they have to make a withdrawal. We thought we'd give them an extra 2 days just in case the ROI, not everyone has family issues, so they might not be able to get to the keyboard or the computer or anything wherever they're compounding, or, well, the withdrawing and redepositing, or just withdrawing into the wallet at that time. So we gave an extra 2 days. So that's 62 days to ROI on both of them plans. And plan 2 is 1.5% daily for 150 days, earning 225% ROI. And plan 3 is 1.5% daily, 90 days, earning 135% ROI.
Okay, man, thanks. Yeah, I'll just have one more question and then I'll let everybody else ask the questions. So the new project, Farm of Fortune, does that then help any of your other protocols within your ecosystem? Do they all work together, or are they all completely separate entities?
Yeah, so the initial deposit is 50% goes to the pool, and we have an 8% dev fees, which are split as follows. 3% go to the team because it is the first project that ever the team has ever put in, took anything out of, and we've put a lot of money in our own pockets to do the first 2 projects for marketing and everything else. So it was agreed by the community that this project, yeah, we could do a 3% developers fee for the team. 3% also goes to marketing, which we have dropped. We are now at only 1.5% for marketing because that's all we need. And the other 1.5% goes back into the syrup pools. So it's extra income going into the syrup pools. There's also 2% which are split between the projects. We have 4 projects in total. There is the Cake of Fortune, which gets 0.5% of the deposit fees. Alka Fortune, which is 0.5% of the deposit fees, and also Zamba Cashflow's project of USDT Cashflow. We're also gaining 0.5% of developers' fees. Because we forked one of George's projects, we offered the 0.5% of developers' fees to the BUSD machine also. So that gets 0.5% each week as well, every day on a Monday. And everything's done with transparency. We show all transactions through the chat, so everyone gets it through announcement chat, Telegram, and through our own chat Telegram as well.
Okay, so has anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. So you said the project is 0% Ponzi. So what makes your project 0% Ponzi?
Because it's not always the last one in that process. And that's what is a Ponzi, is if you come in after somebody else, you're not going to ROI. And we've got it at the point of basically anyone coming in now would still ROI with the amount of interest going in every single day.
Right, okay. So if the last guy comes in, so for example, an investor comes in tomorrow, he will definitely ROI and make profit. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. at this precise moment, anybody that comes in for another 190 BNB will ROI plus profit at this precise moment. That's not including any interest income today.
Right. So what if a big whale comes in and decided to, compound daily? Because, the more you compound, the more you will grow your profits exponentially.
Those compounds are locked every time. You can't compound. You have to make deposits each time. So those compounds will be locked as well. That's right, Craig. Right?
Yeah, those compounds when withdrawals and redeposits are locked for 5 days minimum. So we still have 5 days minimum to earn interest each and every time. So the maximum they can put in is 50 BNB per wallet. So even if they make 10 wallets, there's the 50% going into syrup pools from each and every one of them whales. They can even self-refer themselves. That's not a problem. We have tested this. So they will get 2% referral bonus from self-referring themselves for 50 BNB if they want to. That is entirely up to them. We've stress tested it for 5 months to see how this would work. With the amount of BNB, if they do go in with 50 BNB on each wallet, that 25 BNB is going to earn more interest each and every single day. That will cover what they take back out.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Do you have any other source of revenue apart from investors? For example, like trading bots, or do you invest a part of that money somewhere else to generate income to feed the smart contract to pay investors?
I'll just syrup pools. Don't trust trading bots. There's a lot of projects with trading bots that have ended up going down. I like to know exactly where we are, and I'd like every one of the investors within the community to know exactly where they are and not using a bot, which can make losses each day. Whereas doing syrup pools, which is the safest bet, and you just hypothecate using the syrup pools and putting the interest back into the syrup pools, generating more and more interest each and every single day. That is the safest bet. It's where you're not going to be losing any funds. There's no risk to it.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. That's it for me. Thanks.
So you said that. Oh, sorry, Patrick. Go on.
No, so what I wanted to actually add is I've heard you saying that it's zero Ponzi and all that. So right now we cannot really say that it's zero Ponzi until we reach the 200 days of the first plan. Then we can come back and say that the project is totally zero Ponzi. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was actually what I wanted to talk about. You said that you stress tested the protocol out for a number of months. I think you said like 5 months, right? So how long has it been since launch now? How many days has it been since the official launch of Farm of Fortune?
22 days. We launched on the 10th of October.
Okay, nice. So yes, I guess the guys who got in day one are well on the way to the first ROI, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so the 190 BNB is already over what people have already withdrawn. So if they've just withdrew every single time they wanted to withdraw, when it comes to either the 90 days, 150 days, or 200 days, they're out of the game. And then the rest of the funds are going to new investors. We're working out the 190 BNB extra as if like it was day one from today. So even those that have already withdrew so far, that getting the 2%, there's still an extra 190 BNB on top. So that's including anyone else that's joining in now. For the next 190 BNB, we can say you're going to ROI.
Yeah, it's nice to know that after why is 22 days, like 3.5 weeks. Yeah, so you guys are coming up for a month now, right? That the project's still running smoothly after a month.
Yeah, it scared me to start off with how popular it went, because like my two first projects, Cake Fortune only got a maximum of $8,000 in the project because I was new. I was only a YouTuber. I was nobody. I think I had 400 subscribers at the time, and it weren't really that stressful. We carried it on and did all the interest and doing the syrup pulls the exact same way we are doing with the Farm of Fortune. And that's how we knew that we could change things in DeFi to the point of you not having to worry about being the last person in a project. And that's what we've done with Cake of Fortune. Everyone that was invested up until this week, where we've found traction within Cake of Fortune because it's pumped quite heavily. Up until this week, everybody has ROI'd with profit. There's been over 1,000 cake injected into the contract through the interest alone. Same with the Elk Fortune, everybody's ROI'd already. I think we've only had 2 new investors with that. That's because it's Elk token, and at the moment, Elk token has took quite a dip in price. But like I say, we're still injecting each and every week over 1,200 tokens, and each week it's increasing more because of the compound interest there.
Yeah, nice. So has anybody got any last questions? Because probably in a few minutes we will be moving on to some different topics. Also, if you guys who are listening, you got any questions, just feel free to type away in the main chat, and then we'll make sure to answer them.
One more question. So, Craig, what's the roadmap for your ecosystem? So, what do you have any? Are you cooking any other projects, or are you just sticking to the ones that are working now?
No, we did have a huge roadmap, but because of the time consuming of Farm of Fortune, everything is on hold for the future roadmap. I don't want to try anything else until we reach that 200 days. Once we reach that 200 days, we can have a big breather, the weight's off at shoulders, and we can officially say it's 0%. And we can then start looking into future projects, which what we've got planned is quite big, and I'll probably come back one day and announce that with you. But at this precise moment, I'd rather not nastily or anything like that. I'd rather the community know first before anybody else knows. So at the moment, it's only what's being talked behind closed doors with the team, where the future roadmap's going. But at the meantime, everything's on hold.
Cool. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Hello.
You guys are now more than 1/10 of the way there to the 200 days, so congratulations. And obviously, yeah, we wish the project the best of luck on getting to that 200 days.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a scary ride. Like I say, it's the first time me alone has actually held $250,000 in one single wallet, let alone in a project. So it has been scary, but you have to keep your nerves because it's not my money. It's every investor's money that I've got to keep an eye on and make sure it's earning that money, and I'm compounding on time to make sure it's getting that extra income that I can get to make sure I get, because on average between the 3 pools, we only have to average 1.7% daily. We are on 1.63% daily now.
Yep. So has anybody got any last minute questions? No?
I have a question. Craig, if, for example, anything happened to you, God forbid, but anyone else can take over like all that investors' money, carry on like doing the project, you know, without you?
Yeah, at the moment, no. This was a question that came up in AMA with TLD Crypto as well the other day, and we've been talking about it, a few of the team members. So we are going to be sharing the keys, encrypted keys, with each member as long as they've got a ledger, so they can import it into their ledger as well. So it could actually work for every member just in case anything did happen to self.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good question. And yeah.
Yeah, but all of this is gonna create a big problem because, as far as I know, everybody knows who are you. The other people, you don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'm doxed. So that's the difference. The other people, like, you know, Zamber's Patrick. So Patrick's doxed, but a few of the team members aren't doxed. So yeah, it could cause a problem with the community, but we'll come across that bridge when we come to it, and fingers crossed nothing does happen to me. So I don't want anything to happen to me. I've got kids. So yeah.
Right, and
So you need to see
definitely.
the bills, everything will be okay, you know. So don't
So
joke
what I
with this one.
wanted to say actually, what I wanted to say actually is, when you look at the members of the team, actually, it's not like it's someone who just started from like a few days ago or few years ago and is part of the team. We've been there for a long time, and we actually build trust within the community. Most of the people, they know us for a very, very long time. So we didn't actually start like right now. So when you look at the team itself, the way we are, we trust each other, and we consider ourselves, first of all, as a family. Regardless of the crypto space or whatever, we share everything according everything like from our family members and things like that. So we share so much, right? We think as a family before coming out here in the crypto space. As all of you know, as YouTubers, some are doing Medium articles, some are actually doing banners and all that. So we actually know each other so very well, even though if we have to share like the seed phrase of the wallets, there's no one who can actually do something wrong to anyone. So for the meantime, we are okay with Craig having all the control of everything at the moment, but it's something which we're discussing, and we'll decide what's going to happen next. So it will still be around.
Hello, please, what are the key functionalities? Hello, can you hear me?
Come again? Can you ask your question? Actually, didn't.
I think I heard some question was, what was your key functionalities? So the key functionality is earning an outside income. So it's generating more income so that the pools don't end at the lowest days of 90 days. There's a possibility it could go to 200 days. What we've simulated through the back end is it can go to 200 days and beyond. So we could do 2 or 3 rounds of 200 days until people get bored. But until we get to that 200 days, we can't officially say, yeah, it's going to happen, because it was only a simulator, and it's basically a bot. It's not something that's been done for real. So we have to do it for real to see if the simulator was right.
Any more questions? No, I believe anybody. No, any more questions?
We've got one that wants to have a question. I think it's please. No question is a silly question at all.
Yeah, just go ahead. No one's gonna laugh at you.
Exactly. There is no such thing as silly questions. Every question is valid, because your question might be my question, so we never know. So we just gotta put the questions out and see what the answer will be.
Anyway, my overall conclusion, I really want the project to see it in the 200 days, because it's going to be something very, very different. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's important. Projects just like this one can succeed. It shows that the projects can succeed without relying on new investors coming in, and we'll hopefully try and change DeFi forever, but in a positive way.
Yeah, definitely, and
Someone wants to ask it.
hopefully, devs, well, future devs will look at your example, and probably they will copy your project if your project is successful, and they will do similar stuff and try to achieve the same goals and success. So hopefully that will be the new trend.
Yeah, we are hoping that a lot of people do follow, but what we do say is, because make sure you know the dev, because if you don't know the dev, remember they're already taking, you're willing to give that dev 50% of your investment automatically. So if you don't know the dev, just be careful what you invest in, because that's a security thing. It's the most important thing going in any type of crypto.
Yeah, definitely, you are right. So we had example of DynoBUSD. DynoBUSD, the team behind DynoBUSD, it's a great team, and after the DynoBUSD success, many other devs forked the project and they just deployed it without caring about investors. They just wanted to collect the dev fees, and the first ones, they really collect lots of fees because people were thinking, yes, this is a DynoBUSD fork, so it's going to be as successful as DynoBUSD. So a lot of people invested, but then they start to realizing that wait a minute, the team is not the same, and also these guys, they're not audited, so eventually some of them bugs and all that. So yes, you are right. So you definitely have to know who's the team behind each project.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess on the topic of security, I guess we can move over onto the next topic, right? So maybe some of you can agree with me that the most common way to get scammed in crypto is by clicking on phishing links, whether that be somebody might have sent you a DM on Telegram or Discord, whether it might be through email, or it might be through you clicking on a link that you thought was something from Google search, but it was actually something else. This is where that most people end up getting scammed of the funds. So especially to beginners out there, just wanted to give a couple of tips of what you can do, especially on Telegram and Discord, to try and avoid those kind of things. Now, if you actually go into your Telegram settings, and you go into the group section, you can turn off direct messages. So what that does, it stops people from being able to direct message you from certain Telegram groups, because that's how a lot of these scammers do it. They will send a chain message to all the members of a certain group, pretending to be maybe an admin or somebody from the project or the actual project itself. They will have a malicious link in that message, and once you click onto it or connect your wallet or whatever, then your funds are going to be drained. So you've got to make sure that you're secure on Telegram. Right. You have the direct messages switched off, and also for your automatic data, you also want to have that switched off. You don't want files on GIFs and photos or that kind of stuff to automatically download, because there's actually a guy here who I think got scammed by that. Scammers can actually send you files, malicious files, that if Telegram automatically downloads it, then people can access, your computer or your phone that way as well. Now, the same thing works on Discord. Once you join a server, you can actually go onto the settings in that server, and if you go down to direct messages, then you need to switch that off. And what that does, again, it stops scammers from being able to direct message you from being in certain groups. And that's just a quick kind of first step for beginners to learn to do, to try and avoid clicking on any sort of malicious links or anything like that. So if anybody else has got anything to that, then feel free.
Yes, definitely agree with you. So yeah, especially new investors, they have to be careful every time they join a project, because usually what happens is you join a project and then you join the social media. Social media nowadays, it's either Telegram or Discord, and most of the times when you join the Telegram, you will ask, because you are new, you will ask a rookie question. And then if the Telegram is full of people, best believe that you will find a bunch of scammers right there. And as soon as you make a question, no matter what question you make, a scammer will DM you, will send you a private message, say, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm from the customer team, I'm from the support team, I'm here to help you. And then because you are new, you don't really know. So you're going to interact with the scammer. Scammer will say, okay, just connect your wallet to this link so I can see what's your issue. And then as soon as you do that's you just giving you the scammer access to your wallets, and your funds are gone. Okay, so yeah, one thing that you should be careful is usually admins on the Telegram group chats, they say, I will never add you. So if you have a question, the admin will answer that question right there on the group chat. He will not go out of the group chat to answer your question. So if somebody does that, that means that person is trying to scam you. Because if you look at a title, most of the times scammers are to be careless. Because if you look at a title, they say, I'm this person, but I will never DM you. So it's like, wait a minute, you said you never DM me, but you are DMing at first. So you have to pay attention to those details. So don't fall into those traps. And then again, if somebody sends you links to click on it, airdrops and all that, don't click, because most likely it's going to be a scam.
Definitely, of course. So what I can basically add on that is, personally, I've been a victim of those kinds of like same issues. I know exactly how it feels, and it's really, really painful to actually lose your entire wallet, which you have been working on for a couple of years, probably, you know. And what I can actually recommend, I always say this in my Telegram group. Most of the time, people think like I'm like kind of funny. I always say, make sure that you have your condom all the time. So people, they do ask, why you always talk about condoms? So you can actually go and have sex probably with someone who have HIV, and you know that that person have HIV, and then you just go and get it. So it's the same. You have to make sure that you have your ledger all the time. You need to buy a ledger. If you don't have one, please go and get yourself a ledger. It's really, really important. That is going to protect you from many, many things. Because I remember when that happened to me, most of my funds on that time, they were not on my ledger, and I actually bought the ledger, and I was actually moving things to the ledger. But when that happened, all the money which I had on the ledger was okay, but everything else was gone. So it was crazy. So make sure that you have one. And also, I know so many people, you get DMs, and especially they send you so many things. So you just have to block and report.
Are you
Don't
eating?
just reply to anyone.
Huh?
So try to stick with trusted people, trusted developers in the space. It's really, really important. So don't just jump into any project which you just see. So that's what I can add on that. Probably if someone else have something else to say, you can go for it.
Yes, I've got one more thing to mention. So every time you interact with the contract, okay, once the project is over, don't forget to unrect. So unrect means you are revoking the contract they have with their project, because what's the recent projects was the Ape Club, where they rugged. They rugged, they ran away with the money, and also because people didn't revoke the contract, they were also draining people's wallets, because they had access to people's wallets through the approval. So every time you approve, make sure you set a limit to their approval. So if you're going to approve your BUSD, make sure you accept, for example, if you're going to deposit just 100 BUSD, just approve 100 BUSD. Don't approve infinite BUSD, because if something goes wrong, that person will have access to infinite BUSD in your wallet. So please don't forget to unrack, every week, schedule, put on a diary every week, go and check your wallet, see what contracts that you no longer interacting, and, just revoke the contract. So at least you will know that nobody later on in the future can drain your wallet from their contract.
Yeah, I think that's definitely some good advice. I guess there's a couple of ways you go about that. What I usually do personally is I have multiple wallet addresses, and usually if I'm interacting with any sort of projects that I know is a short-term thing, then I use like I guess you could call it a burner wallet.
Yeah,
And
that's
this is a
it.
wallet that I would never keep all my funds on. I just move over the necessary funds to enter into maybe the pre-sale, enter into the protocol that I know I'm not holding for a long time. And then this way, I can change this wallet on a regular basis. And then obviously, if I'm going to be investing in something that I consider more longer term, then yeah, I would use a different wallet. And yeah, it's always best then to revoke each transaction. So I guess, there's a couple of ways you can go about doing that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Make sure you have multiple wallets, burner wallets, like you said. Yeah, I do have a few burner wallets because, the higher the risk, you'll have to take into account that if you're going to use the same wallet for lots of projects, some of them might be safe and some of them might be risky. So if one of those risky projects rug and have access to your wallet, then you are jeopardizing your whole portfolio because you're only using one wallet. So make sure you use several wallets.
Yeah, I actually recommend not having any of your main wallets on MetaMask whatsoever. You'll find that when scammers get access to your computer, usually they are able to access your MetaMask. That's usually where your funds are stolen from. So I only ever
The
recommend having
imposter.
burner wallets or
Let me know.
wallets that you're using to invest in short-term projects, or wallets that you're not holding many funds on MetaMask, just in case, because I don't think there's anybody that can say that they ever got scammed purposefully, right? No one said, I want to get scammed, so I'm going to click on this link. Everything that happens to everybody is always done by accident, and you just never know when that time may come for you. So, you want to make sure that you've got nothing on your computer, no seed sale or private keys saved on there. And you want to make sure that you don't have any of your major wallets holding any sort of funds on your MetaMask, because those will be the ones that get drained when it happens. And they brought across a good point about using the revoke on contracts. Like, you can use Unrect, and there are actually a bunch of different websites that offer that, where you can revoke a transaction. One other piece of advice that I kind of can go into another subject is even be careful which links you're clicking on to go onto those websites which do those revokes, because scammers know that people go onto these websites and interact with them. So it happens all the time that they create phishing links, phishing websites that look like Unrect or look exactly the same as these websites, but they are actually malicious websites which will drain your wallets. So I always recommend to everybody, when you're searching for pretty much anything crypto related, any sort of crypto project, any website, is that you go either through CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and when you search for that project on there, there will be an official link section, and that way that is the official link to that project. Because using a Google search is not a very good idea, because scammers are very good at being able to get their malicious links onto the Google search, and sometimes they can be up there in the top 1, 2, 3, 4th place, and they can look identical to the actual link of the website. So you've got to be very careful when you are searching for any sort of website that is crypto related.
Just
definitely agree with
Chad,
you.
I'm just sorry to butt in. I just have the rock switch. Yeah, just about the security side. I'm listening to the podcast, and I'm actually transferring some coins I've made on a platform right this very second. Just from my experience, MetaMask, I always just have BNB in it to do my transaction, whether it's on BS network or the Polygon network, just to have. That's what I do, because no matter how secure you could sort of like be careful, they'll always find a way to access your MetaMask or something like that. I've started using the revoke one, but yes, you're definitely right. Watch the links that you put on, because to revoke the actual contract, there is the one that I've seen a few YouTubers do it, and I've done it myself as well. But I just, as a best practice, as soon as I've sort of like compounded or withdrew funds, I just straight away take it to a separate wallet that it's Trust Wallet, Ambia, or any other ones, just to hold my funds, or even Kraken. That's it, because over the last year, I've seen so many people. Ape Club, I think, was mentioned. Those guys, my word, they must have had a field day, but it's not nice. Like I say, I've seen so many people in my Telegram groups, or the other people that do it. So you've just got to be very careful and just be smart about it when investing in like high risk ones as well. That's what I could say.
Yes, definitely. Also, another
Hello?
thing that I would like to mention is sometimes scammers will randomly send you, tokens to your wallet. So if you see like tokens that you like, where this token came from, don't do anything, because if you're gonna try to sell it, if you're gonna try to do anything with a token, you don't know what's behind that token. It might be a malicious token, and most likely it's gonna be a malicious token. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna try to sell that token or swap that token, and then you will have to give permission. So giving that permission, you are giving the permission to the person that sent you that token to have access to your funds. So if you see any tokens that you don't recognize, leave it alone. Don't worry about it, because most likely it's going to be a scammy token.
Very good point. Dust attacks are very, very common. And to somebody new in crypto, especially somebody who's new in crypto right now, they've never known what a bull market is. So they know that funds can be, and gains actually in projects can be hard to come by. So it can be exciting to see that there's something worth $10,000 in your wallet, and you're, oh, what's this? I just want to go put it on PancakeSwap. But what actually happens is that token has a function in its contract that allows the owner of the token to drain your wallet of funds. And so whenever you do see wallets like that, just as we've already said, best thing you can do is either hide the token from your wallet, or and that way you're never going to touch it, basically.
Does anybody have any questions about security in DeFi? How to stay protected? How to look at how to identify scammy projects and all sorts?
Yeah, I always, just another thing to add as well. I usually use multiple web browsers. So if I'm ever doing anything crypto related, my two favorite are Brave browser and Firefox. Firefox is my favorite. I feel like it's the best usability, but its downside is that sometimes with certain decentralized apps or certain wallets, especially, they don't have a web extension compatible with Firefox, so sometimes it can be a bit frustrating. Whereas I found with Chrome or Brave browser, most wallets are compatible with those browsers, even though I do like the usability of Firefox better. So I usually use those web browsers doing anything crypto related. Now, those browsers I do anything crypto related, I do only crypto related stuff on there. So I don't watch YouTube on those browsers. I don't use Google. I especially do not use Google on those browsers. I actually use a different browser. I use Microsoft Edge for that. I'm on Microsoft Edge, where I do everything else, YouTube, Google, any of the other websites. I don't have any wallets on that web browser. I don't have any of my wallets as web extensions on there. So it's a browser I use completely for non-crypto related stuff, and all crypto related stuff I use on a different browser, which I think can be important as well, because you just never know when you're going to have some sort of pop-up or whatever from a website that you would have never known would be something malicious, and then could turn out to be malicious.
I've got a few things. I've sort of like me and a few of other pals that I have, we created like a crypto opportunity analysis, just a tick sheet for us to sort of like assess to see if this project is going to be viable, if it's going to be legit. So I'll just show you some of the things that we look at. So for example, contact form, I've got an email address, live chat, help page, Telegram group, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. So for example, we'll look at Ape Club Obviously, we'll look at the site to see if they've got any of these. The CEO, so if the CEO is public as well. So, for example, a great example would be Prospect Gem Mining. The CEO is public because he does videos every day. There's more people that know about him. Lives in Florida. He's got a how can I say? He's got an office that he's making, I think, this week. Things like that. The CEO's docs. If he's got social media present, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. The other things that we're looked at, for example, is the website itself. So you could go to like places like Namecheap to look at the domain, see how long the domain has been lasting, the web history on things like web.archive. So you could actually put the web address to see how long it's been running, if it's been changed over time, what it was before, just to see if the website's legit. If they've just made it like yesterday, you'd think, well, do they have a history of these types of, whether it's bots, whether it's miners, things like that. I've got another one. There's another one that I'm just trying to think of. Obviously, you could go into Trustpilot if you wanted to. This is the one I'm looking at. Who's domain. So this is who's.domaintools.com. So you could put the website address.
If you want, you can share your screen.
Oh, I'm on my mobile because I'm out. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry about
it. It's these are pointers like whose domain. So these kind of things are like, if you want to just sit down and just look at places like this, they can tell you the history of the website, how long they've been running, what it was before, the registration, things like that. So it is who is domaintools.com. So any domain in the world will tell you about it. So anybody wants to know about the website, stuff like that. So that's just like some sort of like topics we have. Me and me pals that we used to be looking at, go decide whether this is going to be a viable web project to do. Because sometimes you see these, like for example, these arbitrage ones. There's been a few that I can see world OTC. You can look at the web address and see, well, where are they located? Are they matching up to the address? Some of these have like offices, and the picture on Google Maps is like on a wall. So you think, well, hold on, if this is a legit business, why is the address on Google Maps showing that it's somewhere in, I don't know, Tanzania, when they're located in Australia? There's a picture. So these are the kind of things that like sort of I do, just to kind of make sure this is a legitimate one. I think the main one is the CEO. I know we've got Craig on the line, so this is just an example that Craig's come out to say, look, this is my business. So more people that listen to him will be able to assess and think, well, this is a valid project. You know, people like that come out. These are the other things that you've got to look at. There'll be other people that just hide behind Telegram groups. Once something goes out, you know, you don't hear from them, so you know it's not a legitimate business. They've just been around for a week or two, and that's it.
I'm coming.
There's a few that I've seen. More people are developing more projects that I think they get fed up about all of these scams coming out. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I think there's more valid developers that are coming out and say, well, we don't want to do this. You know what I mean? What's the point? We're not going to be going ahead. So these are the kind of things you've got to look at to actually, you know, make sure you're not getting involved in the scam and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point, and that you can also move that over onto Telegram as well. And when you're looking at Telegram groups, if you go onto the team members' profiles, you're able to see when they uploaded their profile pictures. For example, like if you join a new project and you see that the owner of the project has only one profile photo and it was uploaded yesterday. You know, you can assume that maybe he's using an alt account for this project, which then makes you beg the question, why is he using an alt account? Why is he not KYC, not doxing and stuff like that? You can go onto the group in the media and you can check when the first media was sent in the group to try and get a gist of how old the Telegram group is and stuff like this. So the stuff Abdul was saying, you know, you can do that kind of stuff in Telegram and Discord and do kind of your own detective work as well.
Yeah, can I just add on that?
Yeah, go for it, Greg.
Yeah, the one thing to watch out for as well is if it's a newly developed developer and you've never seen them before, or they've never done a project before, but all of a sudden they've got hundreds of thousands of dollars to do advertising and marketing and stuff. Where do you think that money's come from? It's probably a previous project that's rugged.
Yeah, that's a great point. I guess for people who have a little bit of knowledge on smart contracts and DeFi detective work, you know, that can be something that can be spotted by going through the blockchain transactions. But obviously for beginners or people who don't have too much experience in that, it can be a little bit difficult to know.
Yeah, one thing to watch out for is when it comes from a hot wallet, then that's another red flag as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But most of the time,
I think
when they invest in a project, don't check.
and sorry, carry on.
I'm saying most of the people, when they invest in a project, they don't stay to check who create the contract and from which wallet they deploy it and how was everything make it. Nobody's checking that. And even us sometimes we don't check this one. So you cannot say. And now depends what type of project. If it's a hype project, it's a project what it's fork of the fork of the fork. You're gonna know exactly what is gonna happen. You're gonna just check the audit. You're gonna see the Telegram group. You know, it's everything part of the game. In the end of the day,
Yeah, that's it.
just my
Nowadays,
opinion.
well, most of us, or I shall say, we all rely on audits. So if a project doesn't have an audit, I just simply stay away from it, because if I don't know the team behind it, I just stay away. And if the project has an audit, I would like to know who is the audit company that audited the project, and what sort of score they gave to the project, and also what they say about the project. And yeah, things that we have to look into it.
I think like this is a topic that we can definitely keep talking about next time, because there's just a million different things to talk about, and I'm sure we've all got information that people can find useful. We are over the hour limit there, so I don't know what you guys think about maybe closing up soon, maybe having our last points. And we will actually be back tomorrow because we have WC Miner on for an AMA. So because we did have a bunch of topics that we didn't even get a chance to talk about today, so I guess we could maybe talk about them tomorrow for those guys that are available.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be available tomorrow.
Okay, has anyone got any last points then they wanna give before we call up today?
Yeah, we had a 100 BUSD giveaway. If you want to choose 5 people to each win 20 BUSD in chat, that'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah, so we will get that decided once we've closed this in our private chat, and then we will forward them names to you.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thank you.
And thanks for coming on, Craig. So guys, thanks for listening then, as always. Like I say, we are back tomorrow. Probably a smaller episode tomorrow. We're going to be doing, it's going to be focused on an AMA with WC Miner. And then because we had a bunch of stuff we didn't get a chance to talk about today, I guess we can talk about them after the AMA tomorrow.
Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for listening. And I will say, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, later, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining,
Thank you.
and
See you later,
see you
guys.
tomorrow.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.